All that playing Breath of the Wild has got me fucked off on like the X and circle because Nintendo does things backwards, or what used to be standard is now backwards, and so standard is like backwards is now standard, and standard is now backwards.
I remember original Final Fantasy VII using the O button instead of the X button to select and confirm things. Never got used to it.
Yep, and once you start to get adapted to it, the second you start to play a different game, it will fuck you up.
It's like the jump button on Fallout 76.
Oh, being the fucking triangle button?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Who puts jump on triangle?
Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Why would you do such a thing? Maybe a fighting game? There'll be no on a fighting game. It's probably like the strong button or something.
Yeah, no. Fighting games you use
You push
up to
up.
jump.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Dick at the table already. Oh, here we go. I'm not in this.
No, I'm already out of this. My hands suck.
Ooh, Ace 2.
Oh, yep. Either of these hands would have been better than mine.
You guys got 3 of a kind.
Yeah. I had a 4 and a 7, so it's like,
I would have had nothing.
Yeah.
I'd have been playing for high card. There's a big echo that I can hear. Which I don't care, just FYI, if you're recording this or anything, you might have to deal with that if you save this.
Okay, I don't hear any echo on my end.
Yeah, Steve always has it. He doesn't have an echo. He always hears an echo.
Yes.
But it doesn't pop up in the recordings, right?
It popped up in our early Fallout videos, and then Matt, killed his space mic, and that fixed it.
This mic picks up everything.
It does. Fucking hear other people's thoughts.
Alright, what we got?
Garbage.
King Garbage. The Garbage Dynasty. Not putting 400 on that. Fuck you. This guy's gonna be annoying.
Yeah, get him. Bust him out.
God damn it. More bullshit.
Of the bullshit dynasty.
1,000 years ago, all the wise men got together and a prophecy was foretold of a bullshit dynasty of
Of this
shitty cards.
motherfucker wearing the same shirt as me.
How dare he? But
Get
he
him,
doesn't
Matt.
have. He doesn't have your bowler hat though.
And he never will.
Yes. Good.
Well, I have regrets.
There's a lot of hearts on the table there.
Yep. Yeah, there are.
God,
You're
I'm
with flush.
gonna throw that away. Damn it.
I had a very low flush, so if one more heart pops out on the table, I will probably be in the right for ditching this.
I had nothing.
Ronan. Oh, that's sorry. I thought it was Ronan still playing, but it's imposter shirt guy. Yeah, I still had a really low flush. Oh, I'd have won though.
You would have won. Yep.
Son of a bitch.
I had ace 8, but no
I had
hearts.
I had a 2 and a 6.
I had 2 pair and a flush, which is only a thing in DJ games.
Friends. Friend? Friend.
Sure.
He's not going to be a friend. He's going to raise it.
So,
'Cause
to
he's a
be
prick.
fair, already has more views than Monster Hunter and Ninja Apocalypse combined. But that's still
That's
only
good.
18 views.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe we just we lost the algorithm. Like, for whatever reason, the algorithm really hit on the American Ninja, because even that one has slowed way down. So I don't know. Don't know. Maybe we just got lucky. We struck lightning there for a couple shows, and now the algorithm's off to something different.
Good thing none of us depend on YouTube to survive.
Yep.
We slowly but surely keep going up in subscribers, though.
But the views don't.
It's not. We're not averaging as much as we did when that American Ninja show was really flying up, but we still keep going up about one to 2 a day.
Yep. Just wait for that that great Dead Island series to catch fire.
There's already 3 episodes posted. It's not catching fire.
I don't feel like any of the video game stuff we do
Yeah, no one cares.
gets views.
I mean, we'll see if maybe Fortnite hits the algorithm. Of course, it's going to be like 2 months before any Fortnite videos make it to the channel.
I'm almost
Who knows?
wondering if it's just there's two. Like, for example, if someone were to search Fortnite in YouTube, there are so many other Fortnite videos out there by much bigger YouTubers. I can't even imagine how many pages would people have to scroll through in order to get to our video to view it.
Tons,
All the
and
pages.
and yeah, and even then, like, we'd be near the bottom. So I'm pretty sure, like, the algorithm consider like how many likes the video has?
And
Yeah.
engagement and all that shit too.
Likes and comments, and that's why everyone always says hit like and subscribe on every video.
Yeah.
Drop a comment.
Yep. But we don't promote, and I don't really want to promote, so I'm good with the 2 or 3 subscribers a week that we're getting.
I mean, eventually we get enough to where they would start to, like, actually watch videos, right?
No, never. Maybe one of the Dead Lantern movies will just take off, become a huge hit.
Outpost Doom.
You know, I had a hand that I liked, and it ended up giving me absolutely nothing.
I haven't played a single hand yet.
Oh shit, I won.
Wait, what 2 pair do you have? Oh, it's all on the table.
Yeah,
So you had nothing.
I had ace high.
I mean, yeah, sometimes it works.
I sent you the the link for the trailer of Resident Evil 4 remake. Have you seen because there's a separate trailer for it that's like actual like a gameplay trailer. Like 5 minutes of gameplay of it. Have you seen that one?
Nope. I'm sure I will play this game, and I'm sure it's gonna be fun. I don't have much interest in it.
I like gameplay wise. I'm certain it's going to be really good. It's just I'm kind of hurt by the fact that they're getting rid of all the campiness. Like that's what made the original Resident Evil 4 so great. Was Leon was kind of a shit. He was a little asshole, and everyone around him was just so weird and goofy.
I have an ace. Do I want to go all in?
Go for it.
Of course you do.
I T-posed there for a second before I went all in. That was a little weird.
Like Leon can crouch and walk now. It's like, oh, that's neat.
No one has anything. Come on, aces and fours. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Oh,
Oh, Jesus. So isn't it good you listen to your friends, Steve?
I had
And a fucking flush.
I had a 4 and a 7.
Oh, no.
There was a-
The side pot must have been because they had more chips than I did. Oh, alright. Yeah.
Oh, son of a
Neat.
bitch. My headset is beeping at me. Let me plug in my manual headset. It may lose me for a second. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Alrighty. God damn it. Apparently my controller has one battery bar on it. Gotta plug that in
What
too.
are you even doing with your life?
Not playing enough PlayStation?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Resident Evil 2 remake was kind of lightning in the bottle, and then I was immediately disappointed by the Resident Evil 3 remake. I'm over it.
Yeah, it's a fine game. Yeah, it's not awful or terrible, but
But it should have been a $20 budget title or DLC for Part 2, which is exactly the same thing as Resident Evil 3 back in the PlayStation 1 era.
yeah,
We went from a game like Resident Evil 2 with 6 different campaigns to just this like one Jill storyline.
Yep. I mean, like Resident Evil 2, the remake, like that cut out like the A and B scenarios and all the differences between that. Like it's technically there, but like their campaigns play out the exact same way. Like they fight the same people and everything. So, but the gameplay itself was good enough to where it didn't really bother. But then the Resident Evil 3, the remake, they cut out like all the branching paths and, Nemesis is coming. What will you do? Will you fight or go down the fire escape? Cut all that shit out. Clock Tower was gone. The Death Worm or whatever it was, boss battle is gone. I told you about it the other day. My working conspiracy is that like Capcom is trying to retcon as much stupid out of Resident Evil as they can. So they're going to go through and remake these games to make them less crazy and stupid because the Resident Evil story timeline is vast and really dumb.
Yeah, when they remake 5, it's Chris Redfield still gonna punch boulders. I mean, they referenced it in Resident Evil 8, which is meant to be one of the serious games.
I never finished 7 to get to 8.
I hated both of them.
I like Village.
I never finished either of them. I just watched a Let's Play of them, and both of them I just did not care about anything that was happening. Probably because, first person. I don't care. I don't know that I care to ever play a first person game again. I'm sure I will when the next Fallout or Elder Scrolls comes out, but man, I don't care about that.
The Resident Evil 8, I believe, has a third-person mode in it now. I believe.
That would make me more interested in playing it.
I want to double-check that. I'm pretty sure it does, but let me...
I mean, I've already seen how it ends, so
Yeah. Well, yeah, just saying. Let's see here. I'm just gonna Google that now.
Ooh,
Resident
I got
Evil
310s.
Yep,
third
I'm
person.
glad I got the fuck out of this.
Yeah, there's a DLC coming. It's going to add a third-person mode for the entire game, not just like some little side thing or something. It's a mode that'll put the entire game in a third person. I was playing 7, and Frank came over a couple of times and was watching me play it on the old Steam, and would tell me, "Oh yeah, no, go over here and do this." Yeah, this part's frustrating because he just keeps chasing you. But I never finished it. Curious what enemy in Resident Evil 4 remake is going to be the new, constantly chases you through the whole thing enemy, because that seems to be the gimmick now in all of them. There's going to be some stalker.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be, because the Stalker's not in, aside from Nemesis, the Stalker's not in the full game, and even then, Nemesis turns in, to his other monster forms. So it's like, there's one part of the game where you have to deal with the Stalker enemy. I could see it being the super tall, bald guy that you fight in a flaming barn, and then you blow his legs off, and he turns into a bug monster.
Chief
that
Mendez.
guy.
Yeah, Chief Mendez. I'm gonna say it's gonna probably be Chief Mendez, that guy, or the Chainsaw Dude. And I will say about the Chainsaw Dude, when I was watching that gameplay thing, when the Chainsaw guy comes up, it's like the sound design, they got that fucking spot on, because that chainsaw sounds like something straight out of hell. it's like, oh fuck me, that actually is kind of...
Do you think they will keep the line calling President's daughter's tits ballistics? I'm guessing no. I'm guessing that's going away and will not be a thing again.
They might do it somehow, because that was like, I don't even like because they showed the trailer with Louise, and it's like I don't know, it's like the way Louise is in the original games, he's kind of like the suave debonair guy, and so the ballistics lines works because it's also a campy, stupid game. It has like a campy tone. But in this one, it's like Luis has redesigned his voice. He looks like, he looks scummy. If he says that to Ashley, it's like, I get the vibe that he would try to watch her pee or something. It's like, I don't like some of these things that they're doing. Why can't it be campy and fun? Because games aren't allowed to be campy and fun anymore. Except for Fortnite. And even that, it's not really so much anymore. It's what anime character haven't we put in?
What character will make them the most money?
Yeah.
2 days until Coward Squad.
We'll be angry and hateful towards each other for all the right reasons.
For the content.
And not because of the game. But I'm excited about all the character customization options in the Ghostbuster game. Apparently they went all out with character customization.
I will pick that up. Though it's fucking first person. God damn it.
I don't have a strong enough. Yeah, I'm not. I was bluffing.
I would feel like Ghostbusters would be a perfect game for third person because you'd want to see the proton packs and
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yes, absolutely. Like being in first person, you're seeing like the tip of what makes someone look like a Ghostbuster.
Whenever that game came out, like 2008 or whenever that one was, like the multiplayer for that game has been shut down for I don't know, 20 years or however long it's been since it came out. I remember playing it. It was okay, and it was in third person, so you could see yourself and everyone else around you.
I hate first person games. I don't get the allure. I want to if I am playing as a character with customization options, what is the purpose of putting me in a viewpoint where I can't see those options in play?
It's so everyone else can see them in play. Are you there?
Stupid game design. I wonder if third-person games are like inherently more difficult to develop. So I was watching What Happened, the last Matt McMuscle's What Happened, and he was talking about
Evil? Like Alien Resurrection.
Alien Resurrection. Yeah, it's like they started developing a third-person game and it wasn't going well, and then they just kind of stumbled onto the idea of making it first person, and the game was still bad, but that perspective change made so many other things in the game work, or not, still not great, but work better than they had worked.
They also accidentally stumbled across the first-person controller scheme
and everybody hated it.
Yeah, they hated it until Halo did it, and then suddenly, oh my God, this is a revolution! Now first-person shooters work. Matt's been sitting. He's been sitting there silent and content the whole time, which means he has something.
Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't bluff. Jack's the only thing that can help him.
Boom! Fucking yeah!
Oh, you did it! You got him.
I did.
I'm just sitting here in fourth place.
I still really want to play that Evil Dead game, but it has not gotten. Since it's clearly not something that we're going to play super often, and I'm waiting for it to get cheap, and it is not there yet.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because that Evil Dead game, the Predator game, and the Ghostbusters game. I think they're all made by the same studio or from people who were part of the studio that made Friday the 13th. So they all have that asymmetrical kind of gameplay.
Which was in third person. And it was great.
Good golly, everyone just keeps raising around the table.
Not me, I folded.
Fuck it.
Wow.
Fuck it.
Dick on the table.
Wanna play with the big kid? Yeah.
Get him, Matt.
Dick back in my pants.
All this, not only is it back in there, it's like this,
it crawled into your body.
It re-circumcised you.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. Everyone but that last guy had better cards than I had.
I had a king queen, so. Oh, Ronan got 2 pair.
Yeah, so I stand here looking proud.
Oh fuck.
Fuck me. God damn it.
Oh.
He beat you.
God damn it. All right, see
I'd
you guys
had-
later. I'm going to
I'd
bed.
had nothing.
I was there. Everything was working out for me.
Yeah, you played a good hand. Sometimes you just gotta tip your cap to the other guy.
I'm not tipping my hat.
But
to
not
you.
him. Yeah,
No.
fuck that guy.
Fuck him and his dick waving. Always naysaying. Every hand.
Everything I create. You piece of shit.
You create something like 2 Qs. You fucking cockhatus.
What's funny? Matt has no idea what we're talking about.
No, that's not cool.
Nor do I care.
If I told you it was in Star Wars, you'd care.
Hey, yeah, you guys want to talk Andor? It's pretty great.
Nope. Good.
Oh yeah, you can have
Watch the trailer. I don't doubt that it's as good as you say. I just don't care.
it. Yep, exactly. I've been burned by too much Star Wars here lately. I want to watch a few episodes of She-Hulk, but I just haven't gotten around to it. I'm kind of scared.
It's terrible.
Matt, you're not allowed to say that.
I think I got 4 episodes through it, and I'm like, this is just painful. And then I watched the Daredevil episode, and it was all about them basically fucking. So I was like, okay, I'm completely out of this show now. No interest. Done.
Why? what has Rachel said about it? Is
She hasn't really said much of anything about it.
we need to do an IOU specifically so we can ask her.
Well, yeah, we probably should.
I was still cautiously optimistic after that. I think those second trailers came out that showed like, oh yeah, this is going to be like a campy, fourth wall breaking, humor show. It's like I can dig that. I like that kind of shit. But like I was watching a Legal Eagle video yesterday where he the dude's a lawyer. So any TV show or nerd thing that involves a lawyer, he's fucked his hand. He is going to watch and rate its legal accuracy, and he was rating like the first, I think, 5 episodes of She-Hulk, and he was just like I had such high hopes for this show, and it's so not good legally and every other reason.
There's barely any legal stuff in it. Like, I thought it was going to be kind of like a Law and Order type comedy thing where each week it was like a new trial or something, and you barely get any courtroom stuff in it at all, at least in the
great
episodes
idea.
I saw.
It was done so it sounds like such a great idea that it should have been done by Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. It's the small town bird lawyer.
And it's a lot of cringe humor, like real cringy humor. Alyssa
At least
hated
it's
it.
short. Like it's only like 9 30-minute episodes, right?
Yeah, they're all, I think, less than half an hour. But it feels long. Like, it feels really long.
I mean, that was that was a thing that did also kind of worry us when we saw that Daredevil was going to get brought back in this show. It's like, I'm scared that they're going to take the great Daredevil that we all love from the Netflix show, and they're going to fuck him up. So
when Daredevil shows up in this, obviously Charlie Cox is playing him. He plays him just as charming and good as he did in the Netflix show. The issue that I had was it just became, the whole episode is like, oh, I want to fuck Daredevil. And then, like, it culminates in her fucking Daredevil. And I'm like, I don't want to see it. Like, I just don't want to see this. This isn't how I want Daredevil to be introduced. Banging She-Hulk. That's just not my thing. I just don't care
Daredevil,
to see sex stuff and
after
superhero
it.
stuff. I don't care. I don't want to see any of that crap. Just go beat up bad guys and do superhero things.
Yeah.
And I would have the exact same complaint if the next Spider-Man movie shows like Tom Holland banging Zendaya or some shit like that. I'd have the exact same complaint. I don't need to see sex stuff in every piece of media. I know Rachel's like, "Oh, you're such a prude." I'm like, can't I just have like, you know, classic superhero stuff without sexuality forced into my face? Like, can I just? Apparently, I can't have that. Apparently, that's not allowed anymore.
But it's just superhero stuff, because I recall that one of your complaints about the new Hellraiser was like, where's the BDSM parts of this movie?
It is a superhero thing. It is, because like, where do superheroes come from, right? They come from comic books. You know, kids growing up reading Marvel comic books are not reading about the sex lives of the superheroes in those comic books because they are for kids. Ostensibly, they are for kids. And so I think that there is a space there where it's like, okay, you're trying to, you know, show, if you're going to show sort of comic booky type things, you know, if you're going to follow Daredevil and stuff, I don't need to see Daredevil's sex life. You know, that's not what that should be about. It shouldn't be about Spider-Man's sex life or anything like that. You don't need to include any of that stuff in it. Hellraiser's different. That's fundamental to the story of Hellraiser. If you read The Hellbound Heart, Clive Barker's original story, if you see the original film, that is instrumental to the entire fabric of that property. It is not instrumental to the property to watch She-Hulk banging Daredevil. That's not needed or necessary, in my opinion. But according to Rachel, I'm just a prude.
Well, I don't know that much about like She-Hulk, so, but I had heard that She-Hulk, like, you know, part of the thing is like, yeah, she kind of like she like saying sleep like, I'm trying to think of the way, because like sleep around does make it sound like, you know, really much like rough, but it's like she's pretty open and casual sex life from what I have heard about the comic character. I believe I was also I was watching some other video about Marvel's Hercules, and he apparently had a crush on She-Hulk for the longest time, but she was just like, no thank you, until eventually they did finally bang.
Yeah, man, I think you might be kind of underestimating how much sex stuff there is in comics now.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not disagreeing that there's sex in comic books now, because guess what? Kids no longer can buy comic books because comic books are, number one, ridiculously priced, and number two, kids can't go into their local, like, you know, Costco or whatever and find comic books on a spinner rack. Comic books today are made for, you know, old white men. That's basically what they're made for.
Their audience grew up, and they aged. They started to mature the character stuff with them.
I 100% understand that. I'm just saying I did not grow up in that age. I grew up in the classic age where you weren't seeing, you know, Superman banging Lois Lane and discussing about their sex life or problems they may or may not be having in their sex lives. I don't care. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. When I go to comic book stuff there, I'm going to see heroes battling bad guys and all the spectacle that comes with it and the drama that comes with it. I'm not there to see, okay, I can't wait to see how this plays out, how She-Hulk's going to bang Daredevil. I can't wait. Let me watch for 30 minutes on the edge of my seat, just waiting as She-Hulk longingly stares at him and tries to figure out, you know, before he goes back to New York, how she can sleep with him. That is not a story I'm interested in watching at all. And that's just me. I'm just saying.
How did you get through Arrow? Because when I was watching Arrow, that was part of the thing that drove me nuts about Arrow.
I didn't get through Arrow, Ronan. I had to stop.
The first two seasons of it. That's as far as I got in that show, because at the time, you and Steve were both Ronan, you have to watch this. It has Manu Bennett. Crixus is in this show. It's great. You have to watch it. And the first two seasons were absolute horrid dog shit trash because it was made for teenage girls. will they, won't they, fuck drama. So how did you get through those first 2 seasons? Because that's all that shit was
They
like,
didn't
which character-
start like Oliver and Felicity didn't start fucking until like seasons 3, 4, all of that. That's when the show went completely downhill. It's the same thing with X-Files, right?
So I love
the X-Files. And then, of course, there was one of those movies that came out, and it opens with, like, Mulder has just fucked Scully. And I was, like, completely out at that point. I'm like, this is stupid. Why are they doing this bullshit? You can have, like, weird will they, won't they sort of tension. That's fine. But when you start actually showing the sex and the drama is based around the sex, that is when it becomes a huge problem. So, and again, it could just be me.
I don't have an issue like I don't like romance or even like sexuality with comic characters. That doesn't necessarily bother me when it's just kind of spoken like as that. It's like, oh well, like such and you get to hear about such and such or blah blah. It is provided that it's kind of in the background and it's not the main draw of the show, which it seems like kind of is one of the key tenets of She-Hulk. Is which dude is she gonna fuck this episode? Like you've watched more of it than I have, so is that rough?
Well,
is that
yeah,
kind of a thing to it?
I've watched 5 of the episodes, so like the first episode, it's not that, but there's a whole arc early on where she gets on a dating app and she starts going on these dates with all these dudes, and it is like I'm trying to get laid sort of thing. And then I don't know what happened in the episodes right before Daredevil showed up. But yeah, the Daredevil episode is pretty much all about that. He kind of shows up, they flirt during a fight, and she realizes like, oh my God, Charlie Cox, like I want his cock. And it becomes, will they, won't they? Well, of course they will, because it's the She-Hulk show, and we gotta put as much sexuality into it as we possibly can. I'm just not into it. I'm just not into it. You can put sexuality in anything else, and I don't have a problem with it. But for some reason, comic book stuff, I guess I just have this old school like mentality of when it comes to comic books and what they were originally designed for. And the people they were meant for. I understand today there are no little kids reading comic books. But I grew up in the time when that was a thing. And so I yearn for the days of being able to tell good stories without having to have some sort of sexual relationship involved in it somehow.
And just for to clarify, when you're talking about this is specifically about when it gets sexual. If it's just relationship like Peter Parker and Mary Jane, for example, that's not the issue. It's when it gets blatantly sexual, right?
That's fine. Like if the next Spider-Man movie is like, oh, here's a whole scene of Peter and Mary Jane making out, they jump in the bed, they fuck, and it sort of cuts to, oh, they're waking up from their post-coital bliss. I'm like, I don't need that. If he's like, Mary Jane, I got to go save the day, and they kiss and he runs out the window, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But it's just the overt sexual nature, sexualizing superheroes that I find, and that's why I checked out of The Boys. I'll tell you a story about that, because everyone was telling me, DJ was telling me, you got to watch The Boys. I got through, 20 minutes of the first episode. As soon as the Deep is like, hey, suck my dick, this is how it's got to be, and I'm like, I'm out, I'm done. And I just shut it off, and I never even made it through the first episode of that, because I was like, I don't care. Kind of like how Steve is with Star Wars, how you both are with Star Wars. You're like, I just don't care. I just don't care about that stuff, and if it's pushed into my face, I'm just going to check out. There's plenty of other stuff I can watch and enjoy that doesn't involve that being thrust on me.
I just re-upped my Disney Plus subscription, so I'm gonna binge She-Hulk. If not tonight after poker, then tomorrow. I'm a little disappointed that they are closer to 40-minute episodes in many cases, so it's going to take longer than I thought. But I'm going to finish this.
You should just watch Andor while you got that thing up, man. Oh, no, definitely watch Werewolf by Night, though.
Okay.
Werewolf by Night is awesome.
Now, like, explain, because I more or less don't care about it because I'm just like, Werewolf Night, I just don't give a fuck. It's just not even knowing anything about it. Just like the name itself just throws me off. It's like, what, without getting spoilery, sell me, give me the elevator pitch to this map, because I just, like, for the, like, I can't, like, I don't care about it, but I also don't know enough to, it's just more of that kind of, like, whatever kind of thing. So give me an elevator pitch.
Do you want a pitch for the character or for the show, like, or the movie that they have on there? Like, what are you asking for?
The show, because I have no clue who this character is either. I have no clue about any of it, which is part of where my
Jack Russell.
That's part of where my lack of interest comes in, kind of like with Shang-Chi or like the Eternals. Like, I didn't know anything about those characters. The trailers didn't make it look at all interesting, so I said, fuck it, I'm not watching this. I haven't seen a trailer for Werewolf by Midnight, but just the bare basics of, oh, there's a werewolf, I just don't care. So
okay,
so,
well,
so
I'll give you the basic.
on it.
I'll give you the basic sell, or the basic plot of this, or the setup. So now you have to imagine this whole thing. It's like 50 minutes long. It's not a series. It's just like a one-off sort of, not quite a feature length, but not a series either.
All right.
It's
in
all
favor.
in black and white. It's a whole black and white thing. It's made to look like the old 1930s, 1940s Universal movie monster sort of stuff. So the plot is there is a guy who there's a whole, like, the very opening shot of Werewolf by Night is like this engraving of the Avengers, and there's a voiceover narration that says, you know, there's a whole other world that you know people like the Avengers don't even know about, kind of like in the Marvel universe, and it's all about the monster hunters. There's this group of people around the world that go and hunt down monsters. They can be vampires. They can be, as you see in this, the Bigfoot.
Fuck me! I just threw away a 3 of a kind. Fuck my ass.
That's too bad.
Keep going.
Any monster that's in the world. So Bigfoot, vampires.
I feel like you actually threw away a full house.
And so anyway, the head of this,
a queen.
the head of this sort of organization dies, and in order to get this weird bloodstone that helps you kill all these monsters around the world, he has all of the best monster hunters from around the world try to kill a monster that is like the most dangerous, and so they're all competing against each other to try to kill this monster. It's kind of like in a labyrinth in a maze, and so that's kind of the setup of it. But it's incredible because it's like it's actually really violent. Like, there's a sequence in this where one of the monster hunters are fighting another human. It's like they take an axe and they just slam it directly into the forehead of another human character, and you see blood and everything. Like, arms are chopped off in this. It is. We were talking about, Doctor Strange 2 and like how violent some of that stuff is. This is fairly violent for a Marvel thing. But it has amazing music. The set design is awesome. It's not shot on the volume. It's not CG sets. It's all real practical sets. And the monster, when you see him, the monster is amazing. I won't spoil what the monster is, but the monster is awesome and is probably now one of my favorite MCU characters. So, it's only 50 minutes. It's the spooky season. You might as well watch it because it's great.
Is it Fing Fang Foom?
It is not Fin Fang Foom, no.
Damn.
I will say I will watch any Marvel movie that has Fin Fang Foom in it.
You kind of have to on principle at that point. But yeah, so okay, so it's a one shot. So it's supposed to be all the greatest monster hunters, but I'm going to assume, because I haven't heard about it, that Mustafa Ali's blade is not in it.
No, he's not in it, but I was reading some information about it, and they were originally going to put Blade in it, but for whatever reason, they were told that they can't use Blade. So I don't know if Marvel has. Because the thing is, it's like it's Monster Hunters, but it's Monster Hunters from a particular organization. So it's like, gosh, the guy's name is Ulysses Bloodstone. It's like he's the head of this organization where they go, like they literally show a shot of Bigfoot's head on the wall in this building. Like this big sort of huge room where they've got trophies of all these monsters that they've killed. And it's cool because it does not relate to anything in the MCU at all. Like they go out of their way to basically say, yeah, the Avengers exist, we acknowledge they exist, but they have no fucking clue about this whole other world going on, that deals with monsters and stuff like that in the MCU. And they intentionally make it so that a viewer will be like, oh, okay, this could be its own little sub-pocket. And I guarantee you, when this is over, like when you see like the end and how they end this thing, you're going to be like, I want to see more Werewolf by Night, and I want to see more of this monster that they are hunting, because it's fucking great. I told Rachel, I'm like, it's like perfect. I could find nothing at fault with this. And again, if you really kind of like the old sort of monster stuff, like Creature from the Black Lagoon and Wolfman and all that stuff, it's like a love letter to that stuff. Absolute love letter
some
to
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
What's that?
I do like me some Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, it's that kind of stuff. It looks so different than any Marvel thing you've ever seen. It's not tied to, oh, well, we got to have a cameo by this person drop in and all of that. So, I mean, I loved it, and I hope they make a lot more of these. I hope every year we get a new Halloween special, like a one-shot with stuff. In Werewolf by Night, I will tell you, is like when... Because there's a certain person in here, like a certain character that sort of turns into Werewolf by Night. Like, you don't know who it is. There's all these monster hunters there, but they don't really play it up as to who is, the werewolf. You don't really know. And then when he actually turns... It's so amazing how they actually show that, and they actually made it look like a wolf man, not like a giant dog, with sharp teeth, but it's actually like old school Lon Chaney Jr., like a wolf man.
Okay, like that's just a hairy dude.
Yeah, it's just very cool. It's it's all practical. I think there's only a couple CG shots.
How would you rate the transformation sequence to the greatest werewolf transformation sequence, the only true werewolf transformation?
See, it's interesting. So Rachel and I talked about this on our review of it. It's hard to say if you're looking for a transformation, a modern day transformation of the werewolf, you're going to be completely disappointed. But that's not what they were going for. They were going for a transformation a la 1930s and 1940s Universal. And the
Just
way
cut
that
away
they
shots and he gets slowly hairier.
Yeah, but the way that they do it, I don't want to spoil it because it's really cool the way they shoot it and the way they film it. So I loved it. I loved it. But you're not going to get like the fucking Howling or an American Werewolf in London or anything like that. It's done very classy. We'll say that, like very classical Hollywood style.
I'm very sad.
I'm not. I will also watch Werewolf by Night while I binge watch She-Hulk.
I thought for sure because you hadn't really been betting through that whole gang. So I was like, Steve's got nothing. He's just fucking around. But he in fact did not have nothing.
Oh shit! It's my turn. I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention. I was just
What made you
counting
watch
all of them.
Jeepers Creepers, Steve?
Maddie loves the series, and so
Oh,
I wanted
really?
to watch it for her. I mean, I don't hate it. Like Jeepers Creepers 2, I think is great. 1 is fine. 3 is trash. She really wanted to watch this one, and it is like just like I don't even know how to describe how bad this is. Like there's so much like obvious green screen. The movie takes place at like a horror movie convention where they found like 7 people to walk around and pretend to be patrons. It's just, it's a movie with, or it's that it, I don't know. It's just bad. If you don't already have some sort of vested interest in these series, there's no reason to watch this. This is not going to turn you into a fan if you're not already there.
Based on that limited description, this screams movie that was made during the shutdown.
Could have been. I mean, Halloween Ends was probably the worst Halloween movie I've ever seen. I mean, I think I might rank it even worse than Rob Zombie's remake.
Whoa,
That's saying
slow
something.
down there. Yeah,
I mean,
slow
there's
down
no
there,
Michael Myers
cowpoke.
in this movie. He's in it for 10 minutes.
Huh. I mean, I don't plan to see it, and I haven't seen the other one, Halloween Kills or whatever it was that came
Oh,
out.
that
like
was
2
bad
years.
too.
Because I like the first, like, I guess of this trilogy, the one that came out. I thought that one was really good, even though I can't defend the whole, the therapist suddenly decides he's going to be Mike Myers, takes Mike Myers to the cabin for pure plot convenience. That is dumb and it's stupid. And they could not think of a way to get Mike Myers from point A to point B, so that was the best that they could come up with, and it was bad. So, and I make no excuse for that, but I still thought the movie was pretty good.
2018 one is okay. It has a really bad third act.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's shot well. It's a good. It reminded me a lot of what we initially said about The Force Awakens, where it's like, okay, this is just good enough to get people interested again and sort of be like, okay, they're heading in a decent direction. We can get on board with this. Halloween Kills is like The Last Jedi. And then this one is like Rise of Skywalker. I mean, this.
Well, I probably won't see Halloween, so just run down what happens after that first movie. Just ruin it all.
Yes, spoil it. I'm not watching any of this. For
so-
that matter, tell me what happened in the first one in the trilogy.
So basically, what happens in Halloween Kills is Jamie Lee Curtis, who was big in the first one, as you know, Ronan.
Yeah, she went full Sarah Connor.
Yeah, she spends the entire time in a hospital bed in part 2. Is in the movie for maybe 15 minutes. So
is that some kind of commentary on Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2, where she spends all of that in the hospital?
it's very similar. Very similar.
Wasn't there another? And sorry, I'm interrupt you here. Like back when they did like the Halloween H2O and the Halloween, I don't know which.
Yeah. Yeah, at the very beginning, and she dies. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So basically, they don't focus on her